What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer, this time between Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and Non Sequitur, a beer project, and they are out of the Bronx, New York, and this is their Funderbolt. So this is an American IPA that comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 2 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher, and more specifically Jeremiah, for making this happen. I will post a link in the description box to the beer mile unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Hop Butcher sent my way. They sent me 16 beers in total, 5 of which were unique, and this is one of the 5. And I can't thank Jeremiah and Hop Butcher enough for making this happen. So yeah, this to me will probably be the most interesting and probably the most fun I have reviewing any of their beers, and that's because this one is brewed with Sabro and Sabro Cryo hops. Now, if you know anything about Sabro, you know they produce pretty much a coconut character, and I'm a coconut fiend. I love coconut, and it's just my jam. And I think I've liked almost every single beer I've had with Sabro in it. A lot of people out there don't like Sabro, especially if you don't like coconut, so I get it. But for me, it's my jam. Now on the back, they have tasting notes, says a vibrant, tropical, young coconut, and juicy clementine. So yeah, I'm into it now. Non Sequitur. Off the top of my head, I may have had a couple beers that they did collaborations with other breweries. Never had anything from them. Kind of like a gypsy brewer that goes around. They do like pop-up releases and stuff. So never really had anything from them. But yeah, anyway, cool that they collabed with Hop Butcher, and I'm here to try this beer. So here we go. Give it a pour. Yeah, now this is pouring out a bit lighter than the Jewels that I reviewed. That one was more like a chicken stock, turkey stock kind of turkey gravy type of look to it. You know, just like kind of like more of like a grayish tinge to it. This one straight up a vibrant. I think I smell the juicy clementine more than anything. But yeah, this one's more of just like a straight up, you know, juicy looking yellow orange color, we'll say half finger, maybe 3/4 a finger of a bright white, creamy but fluffy looking head as well. Very murky and turbid, definitely in the New England style for sure. Let's get a nose. The clementine is just on top, so, you know, big orange tangerine vibes right from the get-go. Oh man, as it opens up, that coconut. And the one thing about Sabro is it's not, for me, like straight up 100% coconut. Like, it's more of like a coconut milk, or, you know, not like toasted coconut, but just like maybe like a raw coconut a lot of times. And that's what I'm getting here, like a creamy coconut milk kind of character. Yeah, smells good. Touch of pineapple. There's some mango in here as well, like a slight peppery mango thing going on. Now the coconut is coming to the forefront. So as this opens up in the glass, the coconut's kind of expanding as far as the character of the actual coconut goes from, well, not actual, from the coconut character of the hops. Right up front, it was that clementine, that orange, very citrus heavy, but now the coconut's kind of dominating, which is a good thing for me. Oh, man, it smells fucking dynamite. Almost slight pina colada vibes, because the pineapple isn't huge when I'm getting here, like a slightly crushed, sweeter pineapple, but it's enough to be like, hey, there might be a little pina colada in there. Yeah, it smells fucking, listen, this is me in a nutshell. This beer, this aroma, this is me. It's coconut, it's pineapple, pina colada a little bit, you know, juicy citrus fruit. This smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again to Jeremiah and Hop Butcher. Yeah, that's me. This fucking beer is me. Yep. I'm going to be biased in this review, not because Jeremiah and Hop Butcher sent me this beer, because I love Sabro hops. And this, to me, is exactly what I want when you're using Sabro, like to a T. First off, body, lower side of medium, straight up medium body, appropriate for 6.5%. It's nice. The mouthfeel, not as creamy, soft, and smooth as the Jewels that I reviewed. And the reason I'm referencing that one, I don't know what order I'm going to post these in, but I did drink the Jewels a couple hours ago, and this is the second beer I'm having today. Will be the only beer I have today, or the only 2 beers I have today. Wanted to review both these kind of on the same day, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, so the mouthfeel isn't as good as the Jewels, but the taste. So right up front, all that zesty, juicy citrus quality. They say clementine, sure. I could say tangelo, I could say tangerine. I could definitely say orange, clementine. mandarin orange, a bunch of just juicy orange kind of citrus tones right to the front, a little bit of pithiness too. But right after that, that coconut hits. It's like a creamy coconut milk kind of meets toasted coconut. So it's not quite to the toasted coconut level, but it's not just coconut milk, kind of, meets in the middle. In the middle of the palate, a little bit of that crushed pineapple comes in. I was like, hey, we got a third fruit here, or third character. And that started producing a little bit of pina colada vibes about midway through the palate. One thing I've noticed about Hop Butcher beers, this is the fourth that I've reviewed. It might be the fifth by the time I post this, the fifth one I've posted, but this will be the fourth one I'm reviewing. And it's cool because I've mentioned it before recently, certainly over the last 6 months, I'm really enjoying like New England style hazies that are kind of a kind of a mixture of New England style and West Coast. And that's what this beer has, because on the second half of the palate, this has a mild to moderate bitterness. It has a little bit of like a resinous, just hop character to it. The sweetness isn't as big in this one at only 6.5%. It's not a double IPA. So it has a decent residual sweetness, but it's semi-dry with a approaching moderate bitterness, or like mild to moderate bitterness. So kind of is bringing with that juicy, I must say juicy, zesty, pithy kind of citrus peel with a little bit of that hop resin on the back of the palate, a little bit of the bitterness, kind of taking the West Coast style and merging it with the New England style, and that's what you kind of get in this beer, and I'm fucking loving it. Drinks like a 6.5% beer. It drinks bigger than that from a character standpoint because, again, and I would keep on referencing the Jewels just because it's fresh in my mind. You'll see these about a week apart. But to me, these are just so drinkable, so easy to drink. They are really nice beers. And there's a reason why Hop Butcher gets a lot of hype, or a lot of people, especially in the Chicago area. But you mentioned Hop Butcher. People are like, oh yeah, I've heard great things about them, because they make good beers. Now, again, Jeremiah and Hop Butcher sent me this beer, but I told them I was going to be honest, and it's really easy to be honest when you make fucking good beer, and they make good beer. This is better to my palate than the Jewels, which will probably be different than the vast majority out there. I imagine if you go on Tap or my Beer Advocate, I bet you the Jewels has a higher rating than this beer, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people don't like Sabro. Me, I'll say it one more time, one of my favorite hops, fucking awesome beer, fucking awesome hop, just a fucking awesome beer. It is. It's a great beer, and I'm liking it. So Funderbolt from Hop Butcher, a non-sequitur, 4.5 out of 5. It's right in my wheelhouse for what I want from a Sabro-Hopped beer. Super easy to drink, 6.5%. I could crush a ton of these, and that's the thing about Hop Butcher. They just make really easy drinking beers, and this one is much of the same. As you can see, I'm drinking a lot of it, and it's because it's delicious and also so easy to drink. Yeah, fucking awesome beer. So thanks again to Jeremiah and Hop Butcher for sending this one my way. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Again, I feel like if you don't like Sabro, probably not going to be the beer for you. But if you do, I can't see how you wouldn't really enjoy this one at the very least. And you might think it's as good as I do. But yeah, this is just doing it for me. They say faint coconut for me. Coconut's a dominant character. So a lot of times with the tasting notes, no matter the brewery, they're not always going to match your palate. Everyone has different palates. But I definitely get the juicy clementine. More of like, to me, like a Tangelo, or like a tangerine specifically. Juicy clementine for sure. And that young coconut is, I could see it, but to me, it's just like a very vibrant, creamy coconut milk meets toasted coconut. Vibrant tropical, I guess, the pineapple there. But again, a little bit of like a resinous, moderate bitterness from the hops on the back of the palate too. It's a really cool experience because right up front, you get that juicy clementine, orange, Tangelo, tangerine. But then for me, pina colada vibes midway through the palate, man. Yeah, I'm going to crush the rest of that. Oh, good beer. So price availability. I have no idea because they obviously sent me the beer, but somebody did mention that they do self-distribute in the Chicago area. So if that is the case, that's awesome. And price point, I have no idea, but I'd probably say $16, $18 probably, maybe even $20 for this 4-pack, which I would pay all day, every day for a beer like this because it's delicious. So if Jeremiah or anybody else who drinks Hop Butcher or lives in the Chicago area knows about the price and availability of this beer, post it in the comment section. I would totally appreciate it. And thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.